Detroit Lions don't do well against tight ends historically. This is never really like. It's definitely a weakness. I can't even relate it to a strength.
It's always been there.
Always.
The Lions' inability to cover tight ends has always been there. I think it's slowly getting better. Anzalone's playing pretty well on coverage so far this year. Malcolm has made some very nice plays in coverage so far this year, but it's still that middle of the field always seems to be a gaping hole for the Lions. The Lions defense, and who else but T.J. Hockenson comes into town. So you wrote, what should we expect in T.J. Hawkinson's revenge game? I wrote one word. Mid. Because that's what you can expect a classic T.J. Hawkinson performance.
Just Neil Jr.
You can expect 6 catches
Baby Neil.
for 45 to 60 yards and a touchdown. Because that's what T.J. Hawkinson does. I don't expect him to go off for 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's not going to happen. T.J. Hawkinson's going to be T.J. Hawkinson. He's going to give you a T.J. Hawkinson performance. He's a dude. You know he's dude. You know he's going to be a dude. So he goes out there and, like I said, 4 to 6 catches, 40 to 60 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm trying to find tight end stats specifically against the Detroit Lions. And I could go one by one. I got this article pulled up by StatMuse. It's not the greatest. I mean, the guy's obviously, I'll never forget Drunk U running around. Was it Tim Roof? After who's the guy? Will Dissly.
Yeah.
Will Dissly scored for the Seattle Seahawks. Like, I told you. I told you.
Will Dissly's a problem.
And then right after, Noah Fant. Touchdown, tight end. It's not looking good. I will say this though, T.J. Hockenson as a Minnesota Viking hasn't been bad. In 5 games, just 30 catches, 225 yards, and just a 1 touchdown. And I'm sure they're obviously building chemistry along with him too. But in T.J.'s revenge game, I don't know if I could expect mid. I truthfully a little bit concerned because you got to think about the extra attention we got to pay to Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook, which is like leaving him to be the guy.
I think the rest of the teams that have played the Vikings have to deal with those same problems, dealing with Dalvin Cook, dealing with Justin Jefferson and not paying as much attention to T.J. Hockenson. But, his games for the Vikings have been – his first game was his best game. He had 9 for 90. Mm-hmm. Second game, 7 for 45. Third game, 5 for 34. Fifth game, 5 for 43. And obviously last week against the Jets, 4 for 33. So it's – like I said, this guy's not – gonna hang. He'll be consistent. He'll do his thing. He'll get open. He'll catch the ball, but he's not gonna go off for 150 yards. It's not in his DNA. Done it twice in his whole career that he's been over 100 yards. Yeah. So I don't expect him to have this revenge tour. He might get in the end zone. I wouldn't hold that past him. But like I said, 5 to 6 catches, 40 to 60 yards, and a touchdown.
Who needs to be on majority of the game? Like Elliott or
probably
Malcolm?
Elliott. Yeah, probably Elliott. Throw it around maybe Anzalone. Anzalone versus Hockenson, battle of the hair. People would love to see it.
Anzalone definitely wins. He has like pure blonde ass hair.
Yeah, he's got that Targaryen hair.
Literally. I've never seen that in a human in like real life outside of like Alex Anzalone and like
winter's coming.
Kids.
That's not Targaryen, but yeah.
Nips, what do you think's gonna go down?
Fire and Blood is Targaryen.
TJ Hawkinson's revenge game. What do you think's gonna go down?
I don't think. Let's say 2 catches for 40 yards. No touchdowns.
2 catches, 40 yards?
Yep.
No touchdowns?
No touchdowns.
I ain't mad at that. JB?
I'll take 4 catches, 50 yards, 1 touch.
Tell you what, I want to see him catch a pass across the middle and get rocked by Kirby Joseph or Deshaun Elliott.
Oh, Deshaun Elliott.
Deshaun Elliott will hit a stick. Maybe Kirby Joseph comes up, hit there, causes a fumble, force a fumble.
I want to see him try jumping over someone and then get rocked like he used to do.
Who do you think has more of like an intellectual advantage in it? Like T.J. Hockenson knowing like our offense and going against our defenders in practice, stuff like that, or like our coaches knowing?
Our coaches knowing T.J. Like the Lions coaches knowing T.J. Hockenson for sure.
Yeah. Because
the defense has changed so much. The players, some of those players that are out there, T.J. Hockenson didn't play with or against. And so I think the Lions knowing how T.J. Hockenson likes the ball, where he runs his routes, how he makes breaks out of his routes is more.
See, I think it's actually the opposite. Now I'm just thinking through like the thought process a little bit because TJ's aware of like our audibles. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They change the audibles for sure.
For sure, but you go through the whole camp. There's certain stuff that's like what it is throughout the entire year.
I doubt it. I think they probably change audibles week to week.
But like all those, like all the signals, tendencies of Jared Goff, like that's all like I guess insider information that he could then pass along to the Minnesota Vikings defense. Not that they're going to – I mean, they've been a terrible defense all year, clearly, but –
I don't think the inside – like, I think you can get just as much insider information from watching film that you can from TJ Hockenson.
Hell no, not from a guy that literally was in the offense.
Who hasn't been with the team for 5 weeks because they've changed audibles.
You definitely get way more from – in my opinion, I think you definitely get way more from the guy who played within the offense and knows, like, the players' tendencies and stuff like that. Like, again, like the intricate details, versus, like, film. I mean, this guy does this. This guy has a bum knee. This, what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that, I guess.
Yeah.
But do you think they have those conversations?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they definitely do.
Why do you think the Bears signed
David Blau, right?
David Blau, or Tim Boyle.
Yeah, Packers picked up David Blau.
TB12.
Literally,
TB12, the real TB12.
Yes, he is.
The real TB12, Tim Boyle.
And then, because the other thing, too, is, like, okay, you have that part of the offense that he's, like, familiar with it, like, playing with it. But then he also has experience of, like, going against our defense, like, every day in practice throughout the offseason.
But, again, the defense has changed a lot. It's not the same
defense has changed a lot, but, again, he still has experience. And, again, it's more than just, like, schematic stuff, too. It's just, like, even knowing, like, the individual and,
still
what they're good and what they're bad at.
Because they know him equally as much.
That's true. The defense does. And especially, like, our guys being younger. I mean, you heard James Houston talk about it when he had conversation with Taylor Decker. Taylor Decker talked about it, and he's like, he'd go, hey, what can I do to get better? Because he's a younger guy asking the vet, what did I do to, signify I was going to do that? And you remember, TJ wrecked Aiden in practice during training camp and stuff like that. So they've had those conversations. So, maybe that's in the back of TJ's head.
Maybe it's in the back of Aiden's head.
Yeah.
I remember how he got me in practice. Now we're actually lining up against each other.
What are you about to say, Chris?
I was about to say, I feel like if you're the Vikings and you're building your game plan, your offensive game plan around TJ Hockenson knowing how to exploit the Lions and not Justin Jefferson, that's automatically a win for the Lions.
Oh yeah, well I don't think it's that. I think
point.
it's they're asking like the intricate, like I'm saying, like the tendencies and stuff like that. Not like we had to do it just, but this guy is strictly just like
he has an advantage.
Is,
you obviously have an advantage compared to somebody else who hasn't been with that team before, but I don't think it's much
mitigated.
of an advantage. Because, like I said, they definitely change their audible calls weekly.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's like, oh, I know they're passing it. I know it. Randy. He said Randy.
Did they have one? Canelo.
Yeah, they said Canelo.
My dumb ass is like, that means we're running left.
Yeah.
I thought Canelo was a left hand, but he's not.
No, I think it's either a C run or a C gap run or the third play they called.
Or people would. Maybe it did what it did to me. Maybe pause think. Does Canelo box lefty?
If they didn't change it every week, you could easily just find it on film what each audible is.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's why they would change them every week.
Yeah. We'll see. I mean, there's certain stuff that stays the same. Like, you'll hear it when guys come in, like the verbiage different.
Omaha! He said that.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Those kind
the
of
audibles themselves change. We're talking about, like, what you say to
those
signify
kind of
certain things.
Are
not even audibles, I should say.
Play.
More so like alerting people, like this guy's blitzing.
Yeah.
So I would say, right ass cheek.
Yeah.
For example.
You would say
ceiling titty.
That means you're throwing it to the top.
Yeah.
We're gonna see. I wouldn't. I'll put it this way. I'm not gonna be surprised either way. I think more than likely they're gonna have that 3 catch, 2 catch, 45-yard game. But I also could see him having a monster game. I mean, he was a former first-round pick.
I don't think he's going to have a monster game.
and we offed him.
I think he's going to get cracked.
We'll see.
Coming across the middle.